Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing some of the Pat McGrath and Star Wars collection. I placed an order the day that these goodies launched and some of what I ordered is finally here. I'm actually missing an item. I ordered the trio of the Star Wars quints and for some reason in my box there's only 2 palettes. I'll definitely have to check with their customer service and see what happened, but in today's video what I have to show you is the Pat McGrath Sith Seduction eyeshadow palette, as well as the Golden One eyeshadow palette, and the only Chroma Lux artistry pigment that I got my hands on, which is unfortunately in the color Rouge Rebellion. I literally sneezed for 20 seconds and the 2 shades that I wanted from the Chroma Lux were sold out, and so I had to get the next best, I guess, which was Rouge Rebellion. In today's video I'll show you swatches of everything. I'm going to try all of these goodies on my eyes and I'll tell you my thoughts and opinion on the collection. I guess I'll start by saying that I'm not personally a huge Star Wars fan, so for me the hype is just new Pat McGrath products because I am a huge fan of Pat McGrath makeup. I did a Will I Buy It video when this collection was first announced and there was a Mothership palette that came along with these, but it was an already existing Mothership palette. It turns out all they did was put a sticker over Midnight Sun and raise the price up to the $128 that they usually charge for it. So I definitely knew that I was not going for that one, and it turns out that the special packaging is simply a high quality sticker over the already existing Midnight Sun, which was definitely not worth it for me, as like I said, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm just a fan of Pat McGrath makeup. Anyways, let's get into the palettes that I was able to get my hands on, starting with the packaging of this one right here. This is the Sith Seduction palette. The packaging definitely very cool looking. I think my husband likes Star Wars and I need to show him these. And here's the next one. This is the packaging of the Golden Ones palette. As far as the packaging inside the box, here is Sith Seduction. Really cool looking as well. This is cardboard packaging. These retail, I believe, for $36 each and they have 5 different shades. And here's the color story inside. I am definitely already dying to try this sparkly shade right here. That looks glorious and I can't wait to swatch this. And here's the inside packaging of the Golden One. Really cute as well, same type of format. And once you open it, here is what we're working with. This is definitely the more natural of all of the palettes that she launched and the more traditional one for the Pat McGrath line, but definitely still really beautiful, and I'm excited that this one has 2 more matte shades, less shiny, that you can combine with the shiny shades. I'm definitely bummed that the quint that I'm missing was the most exciting one because it was the one with all of the colors. I'll put a picture of it right here. Once that arrives, if it arrives, which I mean it has to, right? Once that arrives, I'll definitely have to make a video reviewing that one. Finally, here's the packaging of the Chroma Lux. And here is what the inside packaging looks like. The container is a glass container. And here is the color of the shade. I'm gonna go ahead and start by swatching this one. These Chroma Lux little pots are a new formula for Pat McGrath, and so I wasn't sure what to expect, but for some reason I definitely thought that it would be a bit more fun than this is. This is definitely very pigmented and extremely creamy. I'm going to swatch it. I didn't grab any more, but I'm going to swatch a lighter layer next to it to see how it blends out. Take a look right there. Very pigmented and very creamy, but for me the fun of Pat McGrath's special shades are the glitzy, glamorous looks that those give you, and so for some reason I was definitely expecting this to have a bit more sparkle, a little bit more baba boom to it, if you will. So it's nice, but I don't know, I kind of expected more from this one. I'm not sure how the rest of them are. I just really wanted it to be more sparkly than this is. This looks like a regular, very pigmented shimmer, you know? I will of course be trying it out and putting it on my eyelid, but so far I'm definitely not in love with it. I just honestly expected more sparkle. Let's go on to swatching the Golden One, and all I'm hoping for these little palettes is that they have the same formula as Pat's holiday palettes did, because That formula was incredible, and so far, just from touching a few of these shades, it looks like these are going to be really, really nice and creamy. That brown matte feels so good. So here are the shades swatched. As you can see, full pigmentation right away. Everything looks very, very creamy and very pigmented. And here are all 5 of the colors from the golden ones swatched. This is definitely the most natural one of them all, and it looks really pretty. I feel like I can create really beautiful, natural looking eye looks with this one. I really like the sparkle of this last shade down here. And I love how creamy and blendable these 2 shades seem that are a bit more on the matte side. Well, this one is more matte looking, this is more like a satin, but I really like the texture of both of those is my point. So now let's go for the swatches of this one. I'm very excited to swatch this shade in particular. It looks so spectacular. Ooh, oh my god, these are creamy. Okay, I'm already more excited about this one than the previous one for sure. Here are the first 4 shades. So creamy. Look at that. Oh my god. I'm so excited for this midnight blue sparkle. I grabbed a bit more to make it more even. Oh my god, yes! And let's go for the last shade. Wow, I love the way this palette swatched so much. I think this might be a palette that I'll probably be more inclined to use as a companion palette, because I definitely feel like these shades would be so amazing to combine with some mattes, but it looks absolutely phenomenal. Especially these 2 shades down here, these are my favorite for sure. First things first, I'm going to try this Chroma Lux with my REPHR number 28. I'm going to grab a bit of this one and I'm just going to apply it all over my eyelid. I don't have a primer on, but I do have concealer on my eyelid, okay? So here is me just moving that one all around, placing it on the eyelid first. And then I'm grabbing some more with a fluffier brush and I'm going to do the crease of my eye with that same color. As a one and done eyeshadow look, I grabbed a clean blending brush to go through my edges to further smoke them out. And this right here is what I got. Of course, you can use this in combination with any other shadows in your collection, but I don't even think I'm going to finish this eye look because it's just a shimmer red eyeshadow. There's nothing special about this one. I'm a little bit let down. I really thought that these Chroma Lux eyeshadows were going to be so special. I definitely expected more sparkle, just more. I just feel like this looks like any other red shimmer shadow that I might have in any random palette in my collection. They are very pigmented and they are very creamy and very blendable. I'll give them that. But I'm just not impressed. Definitely expected more. There's shades in these squints that I already swatched that I'm a lot more excited about than I am about this Chroma Lux. And I believe that the price of each of these squints was very similar to the price of this one shade right here. They were both 30 something dollars. I just looked it up to double check. Each of these squints was $36 and this one shade right here was $32. So this, I would definitely say, gives you a lot more bang for your buck, and I haven't even put them on my eyes yet. Alright, so let me move on to this eyeshadow palette here, and I don't even know where to start because it is all pops of color. That's all I can see, so I don't know how to create a look using just this palette, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to use this one here on my crease since this is the least glittery shade the palette has. This is my REPHR number 1 brush and I'm just going to back and forth blend that copper shade on my crease. Okay, I feel like that might just work. So just back and forth, diffusing that shade on the crease of my eye. Then I'm going to grab my midnight blue shade, which is definitely my favorite from this palette. And I'm just going to add it to the center of my eyelid here. And I'm using a flat REPHR number 2 brush for this. And with a REPHR number 28, I'm going to grab this pewter shade and I'm going to add it to the inner third of my eyelid, blending it into that midnight blue. Okay, I think I was a bit too ambitious in thinking that I could use all the shades in this one, so I'm just going to add more midnight blue to the outer half of my eyelid to darken things up back here. And back with my blending brush, I'm going to blend the copper into the blue by just back and forth swiping the brush between the two shades. I think I'm once again not going to finish this eye look. I'm going to take both of these off and I'm going to use some matte shades in combination with these two colors to create another look with this palette and see if I like it better in combination with other palettes. The thing is that while I absolutely love dark shimmery shades like that midnight blue right there, I like it in combination with more natural earthy tone shades. I like it in combination with more matte shades because I feel like those are the shades that makes colors like this a bit more wearable for me. And so I'm not really finding any wearable looks that I can create using exclusively a palette like this one, you know? I was looking on Pat McGrath's Instagram account, and even on there, the looks that you see created exclusively using these palettes are very editorial, not something that I would wear on a daily basis, even if I could make looks like those, which I don't think I can. But anyways, featuring the Chroma Lux on this side, I found this look right here, which as you can see, very, very artsy. This isn't a look that I think I would be comfortable with wearing out just because it's very, very attention seeking. And also I might not even be able to create a look like that one. I'm not that artsy, I'm not that skilled, I don't think. And then with Sith Seduction, I found these two looks right here, which again are very defined, cut creasy type looks that I honestly don't even think look flattering on my hooded eyes, but also not looks that I feel like I could confidently wear. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I think 4 pops of color, this palette is beautiful, but using it on its own just doesn't come easy for me. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to create another look, still going into this one a bit, but just something that I would probably be more comfortable wearing. I'm back, clean slate, and I'm going to use a fluffy brush with this matte brown shade from the golden one. And I'm going to add that color to the crease of my eye over here. That is so pigmented, wow. So patting the color in place first, and then I'm going to start blending out the edges, just back and forth right here. And I feel like just adding this one matte shade to my crease in combination with the rest of the colors is going to make all of the difference. My matte brown is blended, and I'm going to grab the green shade and just tap it on my eyelid from the center out, just packing it right here. I found that majority of the shades in this palette do have a bit of fallout, so if you want your complexion to be very perfect looking, definitely do your eyeshadow first. Back with my blending brush, I'm just going to go through the edges of the green back here, and I'm going to grab this pewter shade with a REPHR number 28 and add it to the inner third of my eyelid, blend it into our olive green, and I'm taking it around halfway in. I think I'm going to go into the lighter shimmer right here, and I'm going to add it to the innermost corner and also bring it in halfway, adding a bit more green, and back with my blending brush just to make sure things look nice and blended into one another back here. So here's the look that I created incorporating that matte shade. I'm not in love with this either, so I'm not going to finish it, but at least I pretty much swatched every single shade that this palette has. Let's just go ahead and move on to the golden one. Alright, let's try the golden one. I'm going to start with the peachy shade right down here, which, like I said before, it's more of a satin rather than a matte, but I'm going to add it to the upper part of the crease of my eye here and just diffuse it back and forth with a fluffy brush. Blending it a lot because I want this shade to become our transition shade. And I am doing this look on both eyes because I plan on leaving this one on and I plan on finishing it as well. You guys know it's not like me not to finish up looks, but I just really wasn't vibing with anything I created so far. So hopefully I like this one. I mean, this palette looks a lot more basic, a lot more wearable. So I'm hoping that I can create something I like with it. Darkening things up with the brown, of course. I'm going to tap it on the outer third of my eye, and then I'm going to start diffusing it. Just back and forth here. Okay, so then I'm hoping I can use all three of the shimmers. So I'm going to do this shimmer on the outer corner, the gold one in the center, and then this one on the inner corner. I feel like that should work. Like I said, this palette is a lot easier to use than everything I've tried so far. So I'm going to start with the coppery one on the outer third of my eyelid, blending it into the matte shades. I gotta say, this one shade is extremely creamy. Moving on to the gold shade, and I'm going to lightly tap it right in the center. I could feel it falling on my face. And then, just as planned, the lighter shimmer on the inner third. Things are looking nice so far. So right here, blend it into the gold. I definitely love this a lot more than anything else I've created so far. So I am going to finish it. I'm going to use this KVD eyeliner in Bronze Gold 25 on my waterline. With a REPHR number 3 brush, I am back and forth smudging that eyeliner underneath my eyes a bit. And with that same pencil brush, I'm going back to my brown shade, and I'm going to add it right underneath my lower lash line. With a small blending brush, I'm going to grab this one and smoke out the under eye a little further. Here's the finished look. I'm going to just apply some mascara, maybe some lashes, and I'll be back to tell you my final first impressions on this Star Wars collection, or what I got of it at least. I'm back, I finished up my makeup, and I'm here to tell you my final first impressions on this Star Wars Pat McGrath collection. And my final first impressions are that I am underwhelmed and a little bit disappointed. So starting with this right here, this Chroma Lux Artistry Pigment, I really thought this was going to be all that. And in my opinion, it is a very average shimmer eyeshadow formula. There's nothing overly special about it that would justify me spending the $32 price point on this. I really wanted it to be a bit more sparkly. I wanted it to be a bit more special. This is just a pretty standard shimmer eyeshadow in my opinion. And I am strictly speaking, of course, of the shade Rouge Rebellion. There might be other shades in the collection that maybe had some more sparkle in it. I definitely have to see other people's reviews, especially those who got the shades that I actually wanted, to see if those maybe are a bit more special. But as far as Rouge Rebellion is concerned, I really didn't think it was that special. And if the other colors have the same exact formula with no added sparkle, then I'm probably not going to love those either. Moving on to Sith Seduction, this was the palette that I was the least excited about. However, when I swatched it, I did really love a lot of the shades that came in here, and so I got my hopes up with this one. I would say go for this palette only if you're very attracted to the color story of it, and only if you're very attracted to the idea of using these shades as pops of color. I don't feel like combining the shades that come in this palette on their own is going to help you create very wearable looks at all. And as far as the formula is concerned, while I definitely love the sparkly shades that this palette has, beware because they are a bit on the crumbly side. So I would definitely suggest that you do your eyes before the rest of your makeup when you use these, because I definitely had to wipe quite a bit of fallout from my under eyes and I was being very careful. So not in love, but I do definitely like it for specific pops of color. And my favorite shade in this one has to still be this Midnight Blue. And then my favorite product from what I got today is definitely the golden one. It's the most basic, more wearable one. And it being the most basic, I feel like I already have colors like these in my collection. I might not need to have this palette. Do I like it? Yes, the formula is good. This creamy matte brown right here is spectacular. It blends like an absolute dream. This one totally worked in my crease. The shimmers on my eyelids are very beautiful. Nothing bad to say about this one. The shimmers do have a bit of fallout, so do be careful. But other than that, I did really like this one. The only thing is that the color story is not that special. I feel like I have a lot of shades in my collection that are similar to these, but overall I did really like it. And so if this is a color story that you love and you're a Star Wars fan or a Pat McGrath fan, I do recommend this one. and that's kind of where my mind is at the moment. I'm not in love or obsessed with this collection. I don't think it's terrible either. The only product I wouldn't recommend is the Chroma Lux, because I really don't think there's anything special about this. And as far as the quints are concerned, overall I do recommend them. I feel like the shadow quality is good. I think Pat McGrath has even better shadow quality in her higher priced, more luxurious eyeshadow palettes, but still these for the price I think are fantastic. And overall I am still enjoying the quints that Pat McGrath is coming out with. I think that for the price they are worth it. That's kind of where my thoughts are at. I don't hate the collection, but I'm also not obsessed with it. And I think that is all I have for today's video. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and let me know if you got any of these and how you're enjoying them. Plus, if you're interested in the collection, everything that I talked about in today's video will be linked down below in the description box, and everything that I'm wearing on my face is listed down there. If you guys like today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. If you're new to my channel, please don't leave without subscribing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye.